So this is the video that you all have been requesting, how to get approved for an auto loan with Navy Federal Credit Union. What is the entire process looks like, things to watch out for, data, tips, and tricks to know, and then also some frequently asked questions answered. I'm gonna go over all of that. This is gonna be the best auto loan video that you have ever watched on YouTube regarding Navy Federal, and I hope it's a blessing to each and every one of you. So stick around. We're gonna try to keep this as short as possible, but there's a lot of ground to cover in this video. So share this with somebody that you know also that is looking to get an auto loan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Welcome everybody back to the Radical Marketer YouTube channel, where we teach you how to build credit, leverage credit, and create wealth. So smash that like button for me, punch that subscribe button, and knock out that bell notification button for me, because I make videos daily and you, my friend, do not want to miss it. If it's your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I promise not to waste your time. I promise to give you all stuff and no fluff. So do me a huge favor today. If it's your first time on the channel, please comment below so we all can welcome you here at the community. We're a giant credit family, and I would love to welcome you to the channel. Also, leave your comment, your thoughts about the video today, and I'll answer you within 24 hours. Can't wait to see what you put in the comment section. And for all of you radical marketers out there, ladies and gentlemen, salute. You all are blowing up the channel. You know what time it is. It's emoji dance time. Throw in your emoji dance in the comment section. Smash and demolish that like button. Throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comments in the comment section. Interact with this video right now so that way we get a boost in the algorithm and YouTube starts spreading this off to the masses, because when you engage with this video, it tells YouTube it needs to be shown to other people. And this channel is not a me thing, it's a we thing, where we all level up in finance. Also, two quick plugs before I get into this content, because it's going to be epic. This video is going to be epic. You're not going to want to miss it. We have a private Facebook community with over 7,200 credit gurus dropping tips, gems, everything that you can dream and think of regarding credit that we don't even talk about on the channel is in that private Facebook group. It's free to join, no self-promotion, no selling allowed whatsoever. If I find anybody doing that, I kick them out immediately. It's a safe place for you to learn, grow, and learn how to leverage your credit to create wealth. And also, add me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, at Radical Marketer. We're getting ready to do a lot of things here when we hit 100,000 on Instagram. You're not going to want to miss a beat with that. There's going to be a lot of exclusive content just on Instagram. Follow me at Radical Marketer. Send me your credit question, and I will send you a voice memo back of your credit answer. All right, without further ado, let's jump into this Navy Federal Credit Union. Let's highlight a couple things first, and then we're going to talk about how to get it. We're going to talk about why it's one of the best, what the entire process looks like, tips and tricks, and then FAQs you should know. Okay, so one of the highlights about Navy Federal Credit Union, obviously it's the largest credit union in the world. Obviously you have to be able to qualify to join that. I have a video on my channel about how to join Navy Federal without being military. Check out that video. Check out the entire playlist. I don't want to go over all that in this video. I really want to cover the topic at hand here in the video. But the beautiful thing about this amazing credit union that's the largest in the world is this auto loan is going to be a no-doc program. What does that mean? It means you're not going to have to give tax returns. It means that you're not going to have to give proof of income. It's all stated income, which is a beautiful thing. When you go to the dealerships right now, they usually try to run your credit so that way they can bump your score. And a true confession, ladies and gentlemen, I used to be a used car salesman for a short part of my time at a private dealer. So I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks at the end here of what not to do as well. So stick around for the whole video. But the no-doc program, you're going to be able to get a pre-approval based on your stated income and your relationship with Navy Federal, okay? So there's not going to be tax returns or documents required. It's going to be beautiful for you entrepreneurs out there that are trying to get a fleet of cars on the road. If you want to do that, you Uber drivers, DoorDash, whatever the case is. Remember, don't just get loans to get loans. Get loans to have an exit strategy, number one, and then also know how to leverage that money, right? You don't want to just get money to get money. You want to have a plan in place to execute in an exit strategy in case things go wrong. Like Mike Tyson said, it's all fun and games until you get punched in the face, right? So that's what I got to say about that. So number one, it's a no-doc program. They're gonna the pre-approval to get an auto loan is going to actually be a hard pull, believe it or not. It's not going to be a pre-qualification. A pre-approval they're going to run your TransUnion, okay? Now, the beautiful thing about this is I've been seeing credit scores as low as a 540 being approved on forums. I've seen people in mentorship groups that I'm a part of with a horrible credit score, but a great relationship with Navy Federal. So there's not actually a bottom level score. It's based on internal score, your relationship with Navy Federal, obviously what income you put on the application. They do look at your report. They do consider that. But the nice thing about an auto loan is it's actually backed, right? So if you don't pay the loan, they're going to take the car back. So it's not going to be like an uncollateralized loan. The car is the collateral. So there's going to be a little bit more leniency on approving you for an auto loan, okay? So no minimum credit score right there. Bad credit, it can get in there. You know, there's a lot of, the average scores actually that I've seen is between a 620 and a 680 can get approved for these scores as well. So if you have fair credit, bad credit, you would qualify for these loans given you have a strong relationship with Navy Federal. That's key. We're going to go over that in this video as well. The other thing is going to be you can apply right away, but I don't actually recommend doing that. I recommend waiting a 90-day period. Actually, just do it even 100 days. Once you join, wait 100 days, build up the data points, put the direct deposits in there, put weekly deposits in there. Just start building that relationship. Don't rush to the altar with Navy Federal right away. I tell people that all the time. Relationship banking goes so far, especially your credit situation could play a huge role in this as well. So you want to make sure that you're building that relationship. I would wait 90 days. Another thing that's going to be nice about this auto loan that we're going to dive into is we're going to do huge approvals with a simplified process. Here's the key that a lot of people don't know. You can actually get up to, if your credit qualifies and if your report is solid and if your relationship is great, you can get up to $100,000 in a vehicle auto loan with stated income, okay, without having to have additional documents required. So that's going to be a beautiful thing as well. Now, let's go down here a little bit right here. You're going to obviously see that they're going to be able to finance your next new or used car. Obviously, inflation's at an all-time high. So used cars are very, very expensive, right? The cars are very, very expensive. So the approvals are going to be very, very high right now. You can also refi your current auto loan. Now, I actually, let's pull this up real quick just so you can see this here. View all rates, right? You're going to actually be able to see that a new vehicle you can finance up to 85 to 96 months. Okay, now the APR is going to be a little bit high there, obviously, but you can always there's no prepayment penalty. Okay, so the beautiful thing about this is there's no prepayment penalty. So if you get this loan, you could pay it off whenever you want. So if you're trying to keep your payment lower, you could do that and just pay it off early. I'm a big proponent of paying things off early and making sure that you have an exit strategy with these loans as well if you're using them for business purposes. I'm going to cover that at the end, my tips, tricks, and strategies regarding the Navy Federal auto loan, what I feel about it. But I did want to let you know that you can get approved up to 85 to 96 months on the new, and then on the used, obviously it breaks down. Late model, it gives you what that means. Used vehicle, new vehicle, but you can get up to 72 months, which is what, 6 years, I think? Yeah, 6 years. So pretty good there, right? And then you can also do the car buying service with them as well. They have a whole bunch of stuff. I'll list all of this in the description below. So what does the actual process look like, okay? The process is going to be pretty simple, okay? We're going to break this down a little bit more than what they have. You're going to gather all the information and submit your application. You can do this online or you can do this over the phone. I recommend doing this over the phone. When you call in, you're going to say, I'm seeking a pre-approval for a vehicle. You're going to also want to know how much you want to be approved for. Are you looking for one car? Are you looking for two cars? My strategy would be is to ask for the absolute maximum amount of limit because they will come back and counter you if they're not going to approve you. So if you say, hey, I want to get $80,000 for this vehicle or $60,000, because it just depends on if you're looking to get one vehicle or many vehicles, right? You may want to get 2 Honda Accords. So it just depends on how you want to do that. You want to go into this conversation knowing how much you want an approval for, what cars you're looking to get or what cars you're looking to get, because that's going to be part of your pre-approval process. Gather the information. They're going to ask you about your annual income. They're going to ask if you want a cosigner or not. Obviously, a cosigner could help you get a higher limit. Don't recommend it, but it's up to you. I would never co-sign for anybody. I don't recommend you do the same, but it's up to you guys. This is entertainment purposes only. They're going to ask you about, what's your rent payment, mortgage. The biggest thing here is they're seeing if you can afford the vehicle. What are you requesting, and can you afford this vehicle? With your income, with your rent, with your DTI. If you do not give them the right information, you will get denied. Now, if you get denied, you can actually call the reconsideration line, or if you get an approval that you're actually not happy with, you can call the reconsideration line and fight your case or argue your case of why you should get a higher limit, okay? And like I said, you can submit that online, or you can do that over the phone. Now, what's going to happen is when you get your pre-approval, they're going to ask you, do you want to pick it up in a local branch, or do you want us to mail the check to you, okay? Now, at the end, actually, I'll give it to you right now. One of the things that I have been hearing about from my mentorship group, and this is completely open information for you. If you are not able to pick up the check in a local branch, and if you're not able to have the check mailed to you, you can request that the funds be deposited into your Navy Federal account, and you have the promissory note emailed to you. So you'd have the promissory note emailed to you, you would sign that, and then the funds would be in your account. That is something you can request. The reason for that is obviously Navy Federal serves our military around the world. Sometimes it's very difficult to get checks to people. And so this could be a situation like that, okay? Or if you're in a situation where life has hit you a certain way and you don't want to have things mailed to you, you can justify that case. So I have heard of these funds being deposited directly into the checking account. Now, what's going to happen too is you're going to take the loan check to the dealer when you're ready to buy. Now, the cool thing about this right here, guys, is I'm pulling up my notes here for this one because I wrote some things down. The cool thing about this check is a couple things. You can have a check, you can use a check for a private party or a private seller, or you can have a dealership type of check. So there are different checks that are issued. Now this check is going to almost look fake. It's going to almost look like the checks that get sent to you saying, hey, you're approved for $50,000 at John's Toyota. Okay, it's going to look just like that. It's going to almost look like something you would throw away. What's going to happen is you're going to take this check to the dealership, and that's where you're just basically negotiating the car. So the nice thing about this whole process here is you're not going to have your credit ran at the auto dealership. You're not going to have to go over what do you want your monthly payment to be. You're not going to have to go over anything outside of I want the best rate for this vehicle or I'm going elsewhere. So you literally cut all of the BS and you're just negotiating the vehicle purchase price. Very helpful. The ball's in your corner now. The less you have to negotiate. When you say I have my own financing through Navy Federal, here's my check. They're going to be fighting for your business. Now, obviously, car dealerships make their money on the back end of things. So the nice thing about these loans is also they come with GAP. You can get it with GAP protection. So you don't even have to really do anything outside of negotiating the price for the vehicle. Now, when it comes to what's going to happen is you're going to give them the loan. They're going to verify that the check is valid, okay? So let's say that you get approved for $50,000 and the car is $40,000, okay? Well, they're going to call Navy Federal, make sure that the check is valid for $40,000. They're going to give them whatever information they need to exchange between each other, and then boom, you're driving off with a vehicle. What happens to that other $10,000? Well, that $10,000 will be going back to Navy Federal. You don't have to worry about it. So if you don't use all of it, don't worry about it. You're not on the hook for that. That money will go back to Navy Federal. Here's another thing as well. When you pick up this check or this check gets mailed to you, you have 90 days to turn in the title. Okay. Now, if you do not turn in the title, this loan could be converted into the rate of a personal loan. I'm not going to say it's going to be converted to a personal loan, people, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. If you don't turn in the title, okay, let's show you right here. registering the title of your vehicle with your state DMV. Let's just go over this in the writing from Navy Federal, okay? And I'm not promoting or I'm not endorsing anything, because there's been people that have saying, I'm not going to turn in the title so it turns into a personal loan. This is not what this video is about. I do not promote any type of misleading any way, shape, or form. I also would recommend anybody that has heard this strategy to not take that advice, because you do not want to mess up a relationship with Navy Federal. If they find people misleading them and trying to get auto loans to turn them into personal loans when they couldn't qualify for a personal loan, they can shut you down, they can audit you, and they could probably even pursue you legally, okay? I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to be absolutely transparent. I'm all about being creative, but I'm also not about being dishonest to apply for a loan to use it for another purpose. That's just not what I'm about. But hey, to each its own. But I want to show you this in writing, okay? Registering and titling your vehicle with your state's Department of DMV is the final step to owning the car. So if you don't do it, you don't own the car, right? While the title proves you own the car, the registration is basically permission from the state to operate it on the road, and it will come to you with license plates to display from the vehicle. Depending on whether you purchased the vehicle from a dealer or a private individual to determine the actions you need to take. So all of this stuff is on the website that I will list as well. Here we go. Submitting a title to Navy Federal. This is where that whole auto loan to personal loan thing came about, and somebody speaking, all of that. I'm not getting into it because I got love for everybody, believe me. And I just want to touch on this. Within 3 months of purchasing or refinancing your car, motorcycle, boat, aircraft, leisure vehicle, RV, right? A certificate of title or other proof of ownership indicating that Navy Federal Credit Union as the first lien holder must be submitted to Navy Federal. If the lien recorded title isn't received within the time frame, your loan's APR may be converted to a Navy Federal's rate for a signature personal loan, which is typically much higher actually than Navy Federal auto loan. Okay, so that's where that whole personal loan, auto loan to personal loan stuff came about, is from this right here, not turning in the title, letting it be converted to a personal loan, people using those funds elsewhere. I'm not promoting that. I'm giving you the process of, you have 90 days to turn in that title. Otherwise, your loan will be converted. It could be converted. It will be most likely be converted into a personal loan rate, which is much, much higher. Okay, just letting you guys know that off the bat. Now, you can also refinance your vehicle. I don't know if I showed you guys this as well, but you can get competitive rates on that as well. You guys can look into that as well. Reasons why, to refinance your auto. Just depends on where you're at with things with that. Now, another thing is, let's go over some of the tips and tricks on. So that's basically it. Okay, so once you turn in the check to a private party, they call, they verify, whatever dealer they call, they verify. That's how this thing works. So you can get approved for this auto loan with bad credit, fair credit, good credit. Okay, it's a no-doc program. You're not going to have to put all these tax returns on the table. You're not going to have to do a down payment. There's no down payment required. None of this stuff, right? It's simplified. No docs, no down payment. Go pick out your vehicle, give them the check. Okay, that's basically how easy it is. Not dealing with salespeople. Here's a tip and a trick. If you don't use a credit union, you are losing out big time. Let me tell you what I mean. When I used to work at a private dealer, and this is why I actually quit selling cars. When I worked at a private dealer, we'd have people come in and look at cars and things like that, because there's a margin, right? A lot of these private dealers, and I'm not talking about the big dealerships, but the private dealers, they go to the auction, they buy the car, and then basically there's a markup, right? Well, also they get a kickback from doing financing with the credit union. So I would get somebody approved, and they could be approved at, let's say, a 2% interest rate. Well, the big thing with car dealerships is the reason why they want to control the financing is so they can bump what we call the rate. And we bump the rate by saying, okay, yeah, you were approved for 5%. Congratulations on your new vehicle. Well, knowing that they got approved for that 2%, so if you bump them to 5%, the dealership is getting a kickback. The commission is going to the sales rep. The bank loves it because they got a 5% APR rate with the customer. So there's a lot of funny business if you don't do your own financing. That's number one. I recommend any credit union, whether it's PenFed, Navy Federal, things like that. Number two, and I'm trying to keep this video really low, but I really want to give you guys a lot of value here, so stick with me. Another thing is if you go to a car dealership, they start smacking out your credit all over the place. Your credit is shot. I mean, you can get 20 inquiries, 10 inquiries. You know, people say, "Oh, we won't run your credit," and boom, your credit's ran all over the place. Shotgun. They just blast it out and hit you on TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and then, hey, it's all up to you to get rid of those inquiries so that way you can get funding, because nobody wants to lend to somebody that's seeking credit so much, right? So then you have to use the 24-hour hack and try to fight with TransUnion and Equifax, Experian, do credit repair to get your credit right for the next 6 months so you can get any funding. Okay, so number one, you avoid having a higher interest rate. Number two, you avoid having your credit shot all over the place. Those would be two of my biggest things right there. Now, the questions that I already covered that can the auto loan be turned to a personal loan. It can be, but I don't recommend it. Guys, don't do anything unethical out there, especially with Navy Federal. They're on top of it. They know about this. Believe me, okay? Don't recommend it. I want to be absolutely clear with that, okay? Can you get multiple cars with the check of your loan? Yes, you can, okay? Which is going to lead me to my next thing real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. If you can get 3 vehicles for $90,000, you can do it. You just got to turn in all of those titles, okay? So that's really cool. A lot of you guys have been using these auto loans to put vehicles in your fleet for Turo, hire car. This is a way to be able to get in the rental car business, right? That is something that you can make money from, and a lot of money from. I would warn you on this though. If you don't do it right, you're going to be screwed. You need to know which vehicles you can make money on, and at the same time, you need to buy these vehicles together. What do I mean by that? If you're going to be buying 3, 6, 9, 12 vehicles for your business, for the Turo business, you need to line up these credit unions. I would use Navy Federal. I would use PenFed, Allies, another one, maybe Capital One. Bring all these guys together and do it at the same time. So that way, these loans aren't hitting all at multiple times and you're getting denied. Boom, you get $90,000 with Navy Federal. Boom, you get $100,000 with PenFed. Boom, you get something with Bank of America. You're getting all of these things across the different bureaus. So maybe one's pulling from Equifax, one's pulling from Experian, and then one's pulling from, this is what we call a sequence, right? You want to do the sequence strategically. So because if you get $100,000 from PenFed, $100,000 from Navy Fed, you have $200,000 in vehicles right there, right? And they're not reporting at the same time. They report 30 days later, 45 days later, maybe 15 days later, depending on when they hit. So you want to make sure that the inquiries are not all at the same time either. So it's basically boom, boom, right? You want to make sure that those inquiries are at the same time. So that way you're not having multiple inquiries and you're doing this all strategic at one time. So that way you can get maximum value. Now, when you do this, your credit is going to be hit. What do I mean by that? It's going to be very difficult to get any other type of loan. So you need to make sure you want to put this in your personal name, or if you want to put this in your business name. I recommend putting this in your business name. I will do another video on the best banks to put a car in your business name and how to do that without having a bunch of docs and things like that. But if you really want to get this thing off the ground quickly, you can do your personal side. I also would recommend don't go all out there until you've done this deal. You may hate Turo. Turo may not work for you. Hire car may not work for you. You may hate the business. And instead of you listening to some guru on Instagram or YouTube, test it out to see if you like it. Try it with your own vehicle before you go all out and invest this. Use wisdom, people. Don't just do it because it sounds good. Test it out. Beta test it. Does it work? Do you like it? Because you may have an emotional attachment to these vehicles and this thing will not work for you. You know, you could have your car stolen. How are you going to deal with that? Do you really want to deal with idiots? Are you in a location that can even handle this? Are you in Vegas? Are you in Miami? Are you in LA? You know, are you in a Dallas? Or are you, in Kansas City, Missouri? You know, I mean, it's just up to you, right? So you need to beta test and know if this is even something you want to do before you put your credit on the line for it. So that's my tips. That's my tricks. Comment below. Have you used the Navy Federal Auto Loan? What questions do you have about the Navy Federal Auto Loan? Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next video. I try to give you my absolute best on this video. Let me know how you liked it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Salute.